All right, with this West 2 Facebook Live update, I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. Well, you made it to Hump Day. Hump Day is here, and I'll tell you what, we've got a lot of ground to cover here. So we're going to do this Facebook Live thing here for you to get you taken care of. We can take a look at the forecast for Thursday and Friday. We've got high school football Friday. We've got college football Saturday. You're making those outdoor weekend plans, and then there's this thing out there in the eastern tropical Atlantic that we need to talk about. Got some brand new model data on that from the afternoon global models that I want to show you some of the trends and some of the things that are going on with that. So, without further ado, let's rock and roll. Get this puppy going. Let's show you what's going on. So, the feature here in the tropical Atlantic, it's struggling right now. There's no doubt about that. In fact, the feature there off the west coast of Africa looks way better than this feature here southwest of the Cabo Verde Island. So, doesn't look healthy. But remember, nor did Erin when Erin was out there. It struggled for a couple of days, and then once it was able to break away, across the eastern tropical Atlantic into the central tropical Atlantic, started to get its act better organized. So we're going to continue to watch that. So let's do this with the 8 o'clock update there from the Hurricane Center. Notice that track off towards the west, maybe the west-northwest, ever so close now to the northern Windward Isles. By the time we get to early next week, again, it's still easily a week out. It does remain disorganized. Conditions do become favorable for development down the road, and a TD could form late this week or on into the weekend. Chances in the next 2 days, 40%. Chances in the next 7 days, going up to about 80%. So here's the deal. All right, normally a wave here is about 12 to 14 days away from reaching the United States, if in fact it were to even do that. I'm not saying that it's coming our way. This is just normal time to the United States when looking at the relationship of a feature right now to where it could be down the road. So that's all this is about right here. Nothing more than that. Just so everybody's clear, I want to make sure you guys understand how to interpret this map. This map isn't saying that this is coming our way in 12 to 14 days. It is saying that the normal time from a feature at this point to the United States is, generally speaking, around 12 to 14 days. I'm going to take that polygon off. I just want the X. In fact, every time we get a new update, it changes things. So this is going to look a little funny for a second, but there you go. All fixed, taken care of. There you go. So X marks the spot. So a feature in this location to the United States, if it were to even make it to the United States, is about 12 to 14 days out. So that's the purpose of this map. All right, Trina Connors, Elizabeth Taunt, Pam Ann, Terry Lonnie, everybody's in the house here. Got a lot more maps I want to share. All right, so I just updated the global maps, models, and the green GFS earlier was headed towards South Carolina's coast. Now the GFS is kind of curling off the Hatteras coastline and skimming up towards the northeast, but the center would be offshore based on today's run. And remember now, this hasn't developed yet. So this is just, we're looking for trends. We're trying to see, how this is going to evolve. And that's why when we don't have spaghetti models, we show you the global models just to kind of give you a frame of reference and a point in time. So 14 days out from today would be about the 17th or 18th of September. So again, just past the peak of hurricane season. So let's take a look at the new GFS and the Euro. You can see here the GFS is considerably stronger and bigger. The Euro, again, Euro is struggling. Euro, if it goes over Haiti or Hispaniola there, the Dominican Republic, it might not even survive. And don't forget there's also a trough coming into the southeastern portion of the United States. Let me show it to you a different way for a little different perspective. And you can see as we get to Monday and Tuesday, let me back that up here just a little bit. So the Euro actually comes in now just south of Puerto Rico. The GFS just north of Puerto Rico. And you can see we stop it at that point. So this only goes out so many days. So that's kind of the difference between the two. Steering is very, very important. When we look at a storm, we want to know how the upper flow is going to take and influence the system. So in the Euro, notice that trough. The first trough is there. There's that big ridge a little bit stronger. And that's why the Euro goes over the Windward Isles and right over Puerto Rico. And you can see that trough building into the Gulf. And that would likely either shear it apart or pull it back towards the north. If the Euro is right. Let's show you a different way of showing that with the water vapor. You can see the moisture. There's our storm. Notice how it gets, tied up into that little system that goes right over Puerto Rico towards Hispaniola. Notice the trough there in the south. So that would not be a scenario that would create significant development because there'd be a lot of southwesterly wind shear in the European solution. Now the GFS. Here we go again on that now. Let me show this. Miriam, good evening to you. Terry Ann Lottie is also in the house. So here's what the GFS does. Strong high, east of Bermuda. There's our feature kind of coming together Tuesday, staying north just barely of the Windward Isles, just north of Puerto Rico, eerily reminiscent of Erin, by the way. And there's your trough to the north, hopefully picking that up and turning it out to sea. So that's one of the things that we're going to have to watch carefully. Now, with the water vapor, with the GFS, I'm going to show you just a different perspective. So you can trough across the southeast United States. There's your blue. There's your hurricane. There's your next trough digging on in almost to the Bahamas. So you would think that this storm system would get pulled north and east down the road. That's something we're going to have to watch. So, the logic is and continues to be, does this late August and now early September pattern of a strong East Coast trough remain in play and take whatever is developing and lifting it east of the United States? That's the million-dollar question here. That's what we're trying to figure out, and that's what we'll continue to look at. Tony Thompson's in the house. Got that call. Yes. Susan Michelle's in the house. Good to have you. Nancy Cruz is also in the house. Good to have you. So here we go. September formation. You can go in a million different directions here. And this storm system hasn't even evolved yet. We're just showing you the global models. Evan, I would say, we don't have a risk in Orlando as of right now. There is no risk. However, you got to look at this on a day-to-day basis, not just one point in time. Hey, I watched Tony tonight, and everything looks east of us or south of us. That can easily change tomorrow. Remember, we don't have a developed storm. Hurricane hunters aren't going in there. We don't even have the tropical spaghetti model. So there's a lot of moving parts here. That's all I'm trying to say. Keep checking back in. A lot of you like to plan, so the best way to do that is show you what the global models are doing. And, all of these different scenarios could play out here. Until we get, more data, better data, it would be wise to keep an eye on this. All right. So, any questions on that? I received your email. Okay, cool. Keep me posted, Larissa. I'll keep on him. That's it, Joanne. We have to be aware. Just keep checking back in. Carrie Keene. CK, how was your day today? Hope you're behaving yourself up there, by the way. Elaine Oregno Crow. Elaine from Elaine. It is. Elaine, there are some model scenarios where it falls apart. There are other model scenarios where it does become a hurricane. In fact, it becomes a major hurricane if the GFS is right. Hi, Tony. Look in. Diane, we got you. Carol, Dore Davich is also in the house. So again, for those of you that maybe just got in, 8 o'clock tropical weather update. It's still disorganized. You can see a few showers and storms, nothing crazy. Kind of like what Erin was disheveled for a couple of days, and all of a sudden, boom, it busted out. So we'll see if this is able to do that. We think that conditions do look favorable for development. The global models from the afternoon runs, Nanette Vendy, what up? Chad Hardy's in the house. Elaine, gotcha. So here's the deal, all right? So the GFS, the Icon, and the Canadian Gem are stronger. They're more towards the north, and the curve towards the northwest and then the northeast. The euro and the euro AI are considerably weaker, and in fact, some might argue that the euro falls apart over Hispaniola. So again, we're in a wait and see mode. Plenty of time to watch this. No need to panic. Nothing's coming here this weekend. In fact, nothing is coming, next weekend. I mean, 14 days out would put us at the 17th. So 2 weeks from today, that's when something, might be a little bit closer to the United States. So just keep checking back in. That's it. That's it. Just all we can do. Hopefully, we'll have an invest here soon, and we can start running the spaghetti tropical models. I do want to show you Thursday and Friday for those of you that may have a couple days off, like the Plain Ginger Command. Good to have you there. Elena, we're going to have a little rain, but nothing to do with anything from the tropics. We've got this front down to the south, got a little kink of energy there on the eastern side of the peninsula. Let me show you this. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Do this. This. There's that. So there's that. Boom. And then there's that. So, you get into Friday, Thursday, and Friday. It doesn't look that bad Friday. I mean, there may be a couple sprinkles around, but really, overall, if the FutureCast model is correct, we're good. Yeah, Carol, look, just keep checking back in. Plenty of time to watch this. No need to sweat it out right now. So, all I'm doing is showing you the long-range guidance, and it's going to flip-flop until we get something developed and going there. But, at least we can give you a sense of, from a planning perspective, of what's going on. All right, 89 Wedgefield, 90 Disney, 90 Winter Garden, 89 Orange City, 87 up in Daytona. Palm Coast coming in at 88. David Eisenberg, William Trujillo, Ocala 91. So there you go. There's that. All right, now, Friday night football, we got some games. Got the Stangs and the Bulldogs up in DeLand, 81-78. The rain will be ending. Rain may be lasting a little bit longer for the Lake Nona Ocoee Knights game. Temperatures there as well, 81 and 79. We scooch on over to the Panthers and the Commodores. Storms around for the kickoff. Could be a few lingering showers even at the 9 o'clock hour. And more of the same for the Blue Darters and the Panthers from Dr. Phillips there. 81-79, a couple of showers and a couple of storms. So there you have it. There's a little bit of high school football, but we're not done. Oh, no. This is a full-service weather operation. It is now time to look at the weekend so we can gauge the college football scene. Saturday, you can see some showers and storms around, but north and west not too bad. Sunday, here comes a front. We're hoping that's enough to kick this front just far enough to the east so we can be a little bit drier and a little bit hotter. Saturday, Sunday, 92, 93, 50 and 30% chance for showers and storms. And here we go. UCF. Showers and storms around, cloudy at halftime for that game. And then over towards FSU up there in Tally, 84, 88. 84 and 88 degrees. All right, the Bulls of South Florida taking on the Gators. 90 and 88. 90 and 88. Catherine Wood, happy hump day. Right back at you there. Carol Good, my husband's 77 experience. Well, let's hope we can keep it that way there for him. All right, rainfall amounts here through the upcoming weekend. That should be, let's do this. 11 p.m. Sunday. Bam! Now that's what I'm talking about. There it is. So lighter amounts to the north, maybe a little bit heavier down towards the south. All right, gang, let's take a look at the national perspective here, right? Let's do that. Let's do this. So here's your jet stream. Here's your jet stream. And you can see, still have that big trough of low pressure, the Great Lakes in the northeast. We're hoping this pattern will stay the same. We can keep this pattern through October. That would be fantastic. Look at those temperatures. 58 in Sioux Falls, 61 Minneapolis. It is going to be cold across the upper Midwest. Bangor, Maine, 64. Someone was asking, is there any snow on the peaks out west yet? The answer is no, not yet. Not yet, not yet. All right, let's go Globetrotting here. Nome 50, Point Barrow 47, Fort Ross stuck at 32, Iqaluit 39, Baker Lake 48, Thompson 50, Calgary 72, Minneapolis 61, little dump of cooler air coming down from the south there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Boston 72, Memphis 82, Vegas 96, Orlando 81, Belize City 86, Panama City and San Jose 81, 72 respectively. Caracas 82, Bogota 57, La Paz, Bolivia 41, Punta Arenas also 41, Cape Town is at 57, Windhoek is at 48, Madagascar 48, Niamey 77, Raidai 82, up towards Rabat 59, Oslo 59, Moscow 55, Surgut 52, Yakutsk, Bratsk, Ulaanbaatar, and Bishkek all coming in at 50, whereas Sapporo 73. Look at Shanghai. It is a hot one. Hot one in Shanghai. 90 degrees today. Sapporo was a little bit cooler. Again, 73. Ho Chi Minh City 81. Makassar 82. South Australia 54, 55. Look at that. Hobart Airport 46. Bora Bora 84. And then back towards Hawaii. Lahui 85. Honolulu 89. Kahului 87. And Hilo coming in at 84 degrees. So there you have it, folks. Not bad, right? All right, let me wrap it up with a look at the 7-day. We'll do inland versus coastal. And you'll see right there the inland areas will indeed be Juanita Jimenez, Kenny Gottlieb, Lizette Feliciano. Good to have you all in there, by the way. 90, 91, 92, 93. Heating up. Heading into the weekend. Terry was on by 13, she said. All right, sorry. Who turned off the rain spigots? Mayra Martinez. Good to have you there. Higher rain chances next week. Temperatures falling back into the lower 90s. We take a look now at still winter time down on. Yes, indeed, Kenny. Yes, indeed. By the way, the first day of fall is September the 22nd, 2:19 in the afternoon, by the way. All right, 80, 78, 89, 90 on Sunday. And then as rain chances go up Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those temperatures are falling back into the mid-80s. All right, time for me to make some updates here. I'm going to kind of generate a couple new graphics for tonight. So let me rock and roll. You guys are a fabulous group. I'm here the rest of the work week, so you guys can find me right here. Kimmy Nostaluka. Kimmy Poo. Kimmy, how you been, girl? Good to have you back in the house, by the way. DeLuca's Insane Asylum. Love that. Tell Jimbo I said hi, okay? All right, guys, let me rock and roll. See you tonight on the CW18 at 10, West 2 News at 11, and then, of course, right back here tomorrow night at around 8 o'clock. All right, until then, ta-ta, toodles. You guys behave yourselves, and have a great night.